Welcome to the 2019 Commencement Ceremony of the Dale Bumpers College of Agricultural, Food, and Life Sciences. May I ask you to silence your cell phones at this time? If medical assistance is required, emergency personnel are located on the northwest side of the arena. We are also fortunate to have with us today Alicia Atkins and Jason Shiflett. They will interpret for persons with hearing impairments. Thank you.
please stand as members of Schola Cantorum sing the national anthem.
So proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight, o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you. Please be seated. Graduates, parents, relatives of graduates, and friends, it is my pleasure to welcome you to the 2019 commencement ceremony of the Dale Bumpers College of Agricultural, Food, and Life Sciences. I'm D.Q. Fields, and I have the privilege of serving as Dean of the college. At this time, I would like you to join me in recognizing our special guests. Guests, will you please stand when you're introduced? Please hold your applause until everyone has been recognized. First, we have Mr. Mark Waldrop, Board of Trustee Vice Chairman, Mr. Steve Cox, Board of Trustee, Dr. Ed Fryer, Board of Trustee, Dr. Joseph Steinmetz, Chancellor, Dr. Mark Cochran, Vice President of the Division of Agriculture, Dr. John Francois Molinet, Associate Vice President for Agriculture Research and Director of the Arkansas Agriculture Experiment Station, Dr. Lona Robertson, Associate Dean, Mr. Arthur Neal, the 2019 Bumpers College Outstanding Alumnus. Mr. Neal will provide our commencement address. Ms. Mandy Kordsmeyer, the recipient of the Young Alumna Award presented by the Bumpers College Alumni Society Board, Dr. Ron Rainey, Professor, Division of Agriculture, Cooperative Extension Service, and President-elect of the National Alumni Board. Dr. Mike Thompson, Professor in the Department of Agricultural Economics and Agribusiness, and Chair of the Bumpers College Faculty Council. Please join me in recognizing our stage party. It is my pleasure to invite Chancellor Steinmetz to bring greetings on behalf of the university.
Thank you, and let me begin by congratulating Dean Fields on his first year as the Bumpers Dean College. And I really want to say I hope it's the first of many, many more to come. You're doing a great job. Your leadership here is really, really appreciated. Also take this time to thank all of our staff and faculty in the Bumpers College for their role in helping this year's graduates arrive here today. It's a team effort, and we can't do it without your dedication to our student success. And I doubt it will surprise anybody that this is probably my favorite time of year. In fact, this is my favorite day of the year. It's generally beautiful outside, not today, quite so. I said this morning, many colleges and universities have commencement activities outside. This is one day I'm glad we're not one of them. Summer is quickly approaching, and yet another class of graduates is heading out into the world. For so many students, their dreams have come true, and as an educator, it's always a privilege and a joy to take part in that journey. So on behalf of the University of Arkansas, I want to congratulate all of today's graduates on this wonderful achievement. Spread across 9 academic departments in the School of Human and Environmental Sciences, Bumpers programs address the very foundations of our society. And those foundations include food, fiber, and fuel, as well as critical issues of human health and our environment. For many of you, your degree represents not just an area of interest, but a way of life you want to promote, you want to preserve, and of course, want to improve. Put another way, for you it's a calling as much as it is an occupation. And by studying in the Bumpers College, you've spent the last several years learning from some of the best faculty on our campus, and I'll say in all of higher education. You have also dug deep, and you worked really hard. And now you've earned a college degree, something only about 1/3 of American adults can say, and it's a major accomplishment. You should be proud. Your degree is evidence of your sustained effort. It's an indication you've acquired a really valuable set of skills and knowledge base, and it's a passport to better opportunities. I encourage you today to make full use of that passport, whether that means starting a new job, maybe becoming a Peace Corps volunteer, or entering graduate school or some other professional education. Your degree will open all kinds of new doors, and above all else, I hope it affords you the chance to do something that you are very passionate about. It's been our pleasure to have you on this campus. You've enriched us. We'll get your names added to Senior Walk soon, and we hope you'll come back and visit us sometime in the years ahead. Again, congratulations and best wishes to all.
Thank you, Chancellor. This is a historic day for multiple reasons. Some first generation to graduate in a family, first child to graduate, first honor student to graduate, and I'm sure there are many other firsts. But as the Chancellor mentioned, for me, it's actually my first spring graduation ceremony as Dean of the Dale Bumpers College of Ag, Food, and Life Sciences. So historic for me. So, and Chancellor, there's absolutely no place I'd rather be. So to this graduating class, I'm expecting big things from you. I'm expecting you to continue to make history. It's been an exciting year, and we're working hard towards achieving our vision of educating Arkansans from every corner of the state to be the next generation responsible for feeding the world. The most rewarding part of my job is getting to know the students and hearing their experiences. It's extremely inspiring to me, and so inspiring that I'll be following a group of students to Mozambique next week to be part of their study abroad trip, so looking very forward to that. I just want to issue a few challenges to this group. First, as you exit, I want you to think about being a lifelong learner. Never be satisfied with what you already know with being exposed to only the knowledge that you've been offered. Continually seek, listen, and learn. I heard a wise philosopher say that whosoever prescribes to you the diameter of your knowledge can determine the circumference of your action. So to make history, you have to do things that are something that is non-traditional, look beyond what's in front of you, think outside the box, and be a relentless learner. Next, embrace the value of relationships. I always encourage students to network and to build relationships. Networking is essential to success. Someone in this graduating class will be a national leader, make a scientific discovery, or be the next successful entrepreneur. It would be a shame for you to be sitting beside that individual right now and not take the opportunity to know who they are. So try to always look at opportunities to network. Make a conscious effort to meet someone who is not like you. You learn more from those who are not like you than you do from those who are like you. You understand a different perspective. Everyone is valuable, from the chancellor to a CEO to the person who does the lawn work or the person bagging your grocery. You can learn something from all of them. Find a group who will hold you accountable, who will challenge you. You know that iron sharpens iron. Communicate with successful people and try to learn from them. Last but not least, don't be afraid to fail. Successful people don't quit after their first failure. If they did, they would never succeed. To be successful, you have to become comfortable with failure. Failure is not what prevents you from reaching your dreams. It's giving up after you fail that prevents success. I know most of you probably never failed an exam. I may have failed one or two, but for the few of you who will admit it, think about the questions that you missed on the exam that you thought you knew. When you figure out the answer, that's something that you typically never forget. So get out of your comfort zone and live on the edge of your capabilities, and I'm sure that you will continue to grow. Almost every discovery made came from multiple failed experiments, but more was learned from what didn't work than from what did. I'll tell you a quick story. I have a 12-year-old son, and when I was teaching him to ride a bicycle, he was 4 years old, and as a parent, we had a steep driveway, so I'm running beside him as he was going down the driveway, and so he was about to fall, and I grabbed him. And so he told me, he said, "Stop, Dad." And so I looked at him, I said, "Son, I'm trying to help you. I don't want you to fall and hurt yourself." And he looked at me and he said something that was very profound. He said, "Dad, how many kids have learned how to ride a bicycle and didn't fall?" And so, I always looked at that and thought about it, and it made me think that falling is just part of the process. It's part of the journey. So don't be afraid to fail. It's not supposed to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would do it. Set a goal and tell yourself that I will not quit until my dream is reality. Pursue your dreams with passion. So graduating class of 2019, you're now ambassadors for the Dale Bumpers College of Ag, Food, and Life Sciences. As you become successful, reach back and help someone else. Tell someone else about your experience. Inspire someone. Send us the next generation to feed the world. Continue to make history. Thank you. Now I present to you Ms. Kelsey Lynn Johnson, here to speak on behalf of the graduating class of 2019. Kelsey, may I ask you to please come forward? We have 7 first-ranked senior scholars this year: Murphy Brianne Acock, Bailey Ann Carpenter, Chi Ray Tree, Kelsey Lynn Johnson, Emily Ann King, Chu Chiao Mai, Catherine Claire Williams. These 7 graduates achieved a perfect 4.0 grade point average while earning all of their credits at the U of A campus. Kelsey.
First of all, I would like to thank the University of Arkansas, Bumpers College, Animal Science Department, and the Honors College for all of the incredible opportunities that they have provided me over these years. I'd also like to thank my family, friends, and the faculty and staff at this university for their endless love and support. When I was trying to think about what I wanted to talk about today, I was playing the game Connect 4 with a friend of mine. For those of you that haven't played it, let me explain it to you real quick. It's a 2-player game where each player has their own colored chips that look like checker pieces. Each person takes a turn sliding the pieces into a vertical grid and tries to connect 4 of their pieces of their own before their opponent does. I thought I was being very clever, and I had 3 of my chips sneakily lined up, ready for my winning piece. Unfortunately, my opponent caught onto my plan and slid their chip into the winning spot. For a split second, I was extremely frustrated. And then I realized how I've actually learned valuable lessons through playing this game over the years that correlate to the ones that I've learned throughout my college career here at the University of Arkansas. When your opponent's incoming chip comes in to block your path, this may feel like a little failure, similar to the failures that we experience throughout our lives. But in reality, these are not really failures. They're minor roadblocks that force us to take a different path. As you play Connect 4, your opponent can block you many times, but you can still end up winning the game if you don't give up and reapproach the problem in a different way. There are many paths to success, some containing more roadblocks than others, and one must be able to adapt in order to overcome these obstacles and reach their goals, which includes improvising and adjusting your original plan while continuing to enjoy the journey. This lesson resonated with me when I spent a summer living in Belize collecting my honors thesis data in a national park with Mercedes Redding. There are many difficult situations that we got into, including hiking miles into the jungle with really heavy equipment and getting stranded on a boat coming back from one of the keys in Belize, also getting caught in a flash flood while hiking out of the jungle, and I got infected with a skin parasite called a botfly. Yeah, that was a fun one. During many of these experiences, we both wanted to either give up or absolutely freak out. But almost every time we were caught in these uncomfortable situations, we would look at each other and just burst out laughing. Because the best way to face these insane issues is with humor and to have fun. Things didn't always turn out the way we thought they would, and that's okay. We learned from our mistakes, and we enjoyed the journey along the way. Just as you should enjoy playing a game of Connect 4 as you play, because what's the point of playing a board game if you're not going to have a good time? So now I know this is easier said than done, because when I came back from Belize and began analyzing my data in order to write my thesis, I started to stress out about it. This made working on my thesis much less enjoyable. I felt as though my Connect 4 opponent had blocked my best path very late in the game. And while I was venting to my advisor, Dr. Jason Apple, I explained to him I was frustrated because there were so many aspects of my research that I wished I could have done over again. I felt like I could have done them so much better. He stopped me and said, "It's called research for a reason, you know, right? Because research without the re would just be search." And for some reason, this comment made me feel so much better. It reminded me that if all we did was search, once we reached a dead end, we would think our journeys ended there. We wouldn't continue on. And that's neither fun nor productive. We must research for another solution to the problem and move on. So as we enter this next part of our lives, let's be open to taking a different path, enjoying the next adventure, and even if you're playing Connect 4 and your opponent beats you, learn from your mistakes and challenge them to a rematch. But most importantly, as cheesy as it sounds, have fun.
Kelsey. So thank you, Kelsey, for that inspiring address. We want to present you this plaque on behalf of the college for this day. So now I'm extremely pleased to introduce Mr. Arthur L. Neal Jr. as the 2019 Outstanding Alumnus of the Bumpers College. Mr. Neal earned his master's degree in agricultural economics from Bumpers College. He currently serves as Deputy Administrator of the Federal Grain Inspection Service under the Ag Marketing Service of the USDA. Please welcome Mr. Arthur L. Neal Jr.
Good afternoon, all. It's a pleasure to be back on the Hill. And before I begin, I'd like to first thank Dr. Bobbitt and Dr. Steinmetz for their awesome leadership here at this university. I'd also like to give thanks to Dr. Cochran, who was my Dean of Agriculture when I was here at the university in graduate school and now is the Vice President for Agriculture for the University of Arkansas. I also want to congratulate and give honor to Dr. Dean Fields for the vision that he is casting for the future. And I'd like to pay many respects to the faculty and staff that have served and are still serving students today to ensure that they've got a bright future ahead of them and sowing seeds of knowledge and promise into them. And last but certainly not least, to the 2019 graduating class of the University of Arkansas, Dale Bumpers College of Agricultural, Food and Life Sciences. You made it. You made it. I can remember when I first set foot on this campus from Louisiana. I came from a school, Southern University in Baton Rouge, Louisiana, and this campus is much larger than ours. Everything was fresh. Everything was new. Yet everything was so unfamiliar and didn't quite know what was going to happen next. And I can imagine that some of you sitting in your seats today may be feeling the same way just about what's next. Some of your plans may already be formed. You may be going on to graduate school. Some of you may be getting ready to enter the workforce. But today I want to talk to you a little bit about, as you enter into the next phase of your journey, I want to give you a compass for that journey as you sow the land. I heard somebody say, what do you mean sow the land? Well, you attending one of the greatest agriculture colleges in the nation, and I hope you understand how important the land is to us and how we're all called to be farmers or stewards of that land, to utilize and manage the land in such a way where it produces a harvest for us and for others. And for some other folks, you may be sowing the land differently in that you're using textiles, such as my fellow alum Mandy Korsmeyer back there. Instead of using the land, you're using textiles and you're adding value that way. There are different ways that people sow the land. Some people may sow the land by using a small plot, a hand tiller, use their finger to put a hole in the ground, sow a few seeds, and cover it back up. Some folks may use heavy machinery with the greatest and latest technology in it that can drive itself to sow the land. Some people may use small hand row planter, or single row planter to sow the land. Some folks may use a seed drill to sow the land. There are different ways to sow the land. Today I just want to talk to you about one way that's worked for me over my career. And I'm going to ask you to go to class with me one more time before you leave today. So I'm going to need you to talk back to me just a little bit, all right? All right? All right, I appreciate that. So the first principle that I'd like to share with you in sowing the land reflects on study. Say study for me. Study to show yourself approved, a workman not to be ashamed. So when I entered into the workforce, coming fresh out of school here at the University of Arkansas, I thought I knew a lot. Started working at USDA, and there were some projects that were going on around me, but I was always feeling sidelined because they would never let me work on the projects, but just around the projects. And I did that for about 6 months, and I was getting frustrated. And so I would read things that would be applicable to what they were working on. And when I would ask for more meaningful work to do, they wouldn't give it to me. They'd ask me, hey, we need somebody to take on the role of being our website designer. I didn't go to school for designing websites. But what I did, I studied. How do I write HTML code to do what they asked me to do? So I studied. I became an HTML, I won't say expert, I became proficient enough in it where I designed the website for the National Organic Program, enhanced it in such a way that everybody loved it. Then they would give me jobs like writing minutes of meetings for the National Organic Standards Board. I didn't want to do that either. I didn't go to school to write minutes of meetings, but I did it anyway. So I studied how it was done before, and I said, what can I do to do it better? And what I learned is that every time they asked me to do something, I studied what I needed to do, and I did it better than it was done before. What that allowed me to do was get exposure to the head of our agency, who later became the Deputy Secretary for USDA and remembered everything that I had done when she was there with me in 2009. And it put me into a position where they gave me work that was more meaningful than I was doing before. And so because I studied to show myself approved, I got access to more opportunities. And so one of the things I want to share or challenge you to do is that no matter how smart you think you are, no matter what you think you bring to the table, some people may ask you to do some things that you just don't want to do, or you don't know how to do. Humble yourself, study what you need to do, and do it in such a way where people notice your work and let your work speak for you so that you can study to show yourself approved. So the first principle I talked about was what? Study. The second principle I want to talk to you about is observing your leadership and their instructions. So observing your leadership and their instructions. Working at USDA for over 24 years now, I've noticed that there are a lot of people that talk about their leadership behind their back. Some of them talk about them in front of their face. But that's not beneficial for any organizational culture. And I ask of you that as you enter into graduate school, or as you enter into the workforce, observe your leadership and their instructions. Watch what they do. Pick up the good habits or the good characteristics that you see them doing day by day. And some of the things that you don't think is beneficial or healthy for you, don't accept those things. but observe them in anything that they ask you to do. Don't make life difficult for them by becoming a burden or an antagonist, that you make their job harder because you don't want to do a certain thing. Your objective is to contribute to the mission of any organization, because as you contribute, you learn and you position yourself for growth. And so I want to encourage you today that as you move forward in this next phase of life, to observe your leadership and anything that they ask you to do, so that you can become a better asset in the organization and for your career. So the second principle was what? Observe. First is what? Study. The second is what? Observe. The third is work. Work with passion, work with purpose, and work with promise. You know, for me, there's a tested and true proverb that says, work as if you work unto the Lord, not as unto man, because it's God who gives the increase. And for me, that's my faith. And so there have been times when I've really gotten kind of down on myself because I didn't like where I was in my career. And I didn't like necessarily some of the things that I've had to do. But what I decided to, in my mind, is that I was going to do my best in everything that was put in front of me and just let my work speak for me. And I was having a conversation with an employee a couple of weeks ago, and they were complaining about being passed over for positions. They say that, you know, we've been here for years, and people just pass us over for positions that don't give us the opportunities. And so I started asking a few questions. So I said, well, let me ask you this. And I was just coming on the job, just meeting this person for the first time. I said, well, do you come into work every morning motivated, really wanting to make a change? I said, when you come into work, are you inspiring people around you? When you come into work, does your boss have to tell you to do everything, or are you being creative and proactive to do things that you see need to be done without somebody asking you to do them? These are the types of things that catches somebody's attention. Are you a value-added player? Are you working with purpose? You know, every person has to take their future into their own hands. There are folks that are going to contribute to your success, but ultimately you have to do some planning and some thinking and some acting on your own. And so I want to say to you, you have to have purpose for everything that you do. And so if you find yourself doing things that have no purpose and add no value to your life, then you have to begin to reflect on what you are doing. And so with that, working with purpose, working with promise, and the promise component of that is that you have to believe that everything that you do, if you're doing it with purpose, will lead you to something in the future. There's promise to no farmer plants a seed and doesn't expect a what? No farmer plants a seed and doesn't expect a what? A harvest. If you plant corn, you expect you're going to see what? Corn. If you plant wheat, you expect you're going to get wheat. They're planting, expecting the promise of a harvest. So everything that you do with passion and purpose, believe that there's a promise of a harvest on the other end of it. So, the first principle was what? Study. The second principle was what? Observe. The third principle was what? Work. All right, moving along. The fourth principle is learn. Learn from those more experienced than you. I mentioned a little bit earlier about people who come into the workplace thinking they know it all. Anytime you enter into any organization or a new environment, there's a lot that you do not know, a lot of history that you do not know, a lot of political issues, office politics going on that you do not know. There are things that you need to say and things that you do not need to say. There are people that you need to talk to, there are people that you do not need to talk to. You have to make sure that you're taking an opportunity to find those people who've been more seasoned in the work or in the field that you are pursuing. Take time to learn from them. Take time to get mentors in your life. You're going to find mentors in different areas of your life for many different things. Don't be afraid to ask somebody to be a mentor, and don't be afraid just to glean from somebody every time you're encountering them. So, fourth principle, learn. Learn from others more experienced than you. The fifth principle, Add value. Add value to everything you touch. There's nothing worse than having people on your team that drain you, that don't add value to the conversation, don't add value to the group thought process, don't add value to the work. And what I've learned is that even when I don't know something, if I'm really being intentful and listening to what's going on, what the challenges are, and anytime I open my mouth, if my intent is to add value to the conversation, not just to be heard or be seen, I found that it's always impacted the dynamic and the direction of a conversation. And so for you, I just want to add in your hearing and sow this seed in your heart that everything that you do, attempt to add value. Don't do it empty. Don't do it without purpose. Add value. So the fifth is add what? Let's go from the top. First, study. I'm sorry. Study, observe, work, learn, add. All right. Moving along. Dean Fields talked about networking, and I'm going to keep this one short. Make sure that you're building a network to add to your net worth. Think about a spider. A spider builds a web, right? Spider web is really, really strong and durable. And that spider builds a web for two reasons, for offense and for defense. Anytime anybody or anything hits that web, it sends a vibration down the web, and it lets that spider know that it could be in danger. At the same time, that web is also catching an opportunity for that spider. I want to encourage you today that as you move about life, to build a strong web, a strong network for offense and defensive purposes. Why am I saying that? I found that because I tried to engage everybody along my path, and when I say engage, I don't mean meet people for the purposes of using them. You have to invest time in knowing who people are, finding out where they're from, what are they about, what pushes them, what motivates them. Take time in learning who people really are at the core to establish a meaningful relationship. Those same folks that you build a web with will actually watch out for you along your journey. So when something could potentially come to harm you, they will let you know before it touches you. And when you need help, those people will be available to help you to gain access to opportunities. So I'm just encouraging you today that as you move forward in this next phase of life, to build a strong network to strengthen your net worth. And when you think about net worth, anybody who took a finance class, budgeting class, accounting class, you always want your assets to be greater than your what? Assets to be greater than your what? Liabilities. So if you're not bringing anything to the table in a relationship, oftentimes people view you as a what? Liability. Because all you're doing is drawing resources from them. You're not adding any value. So think about that. So that last point was about, I forgot myself, networking. So studying, observing, working, learning, add value, and networking. And the last point, and I'm taking this one from our current secretary, Sonny Perdue, is do right, and he adds on the end of that, feed everyone. Now, do right. There are going to be a lot of instances, a lot of encounters that you're going to have in life where it's going to test your character. People are going to ask you to do some things that are going to may go against who you are, may go against your morals and your beliefs. You have to maintain your character and your integrity. You've got to do the right thing, even when it hurts. And that's not always a fun thing to do. In addition of doing what's right, you also have to understand that there are people watching you all the time. And everybody watching you may not necessarily be for you. When I say for you, they may not be supporting you, but there's always somebody around you that needs a helping hand. So when I say feed everyone, make sure that you're sowing good seeds into the lives of others as you move forward. So feeding may be just listening to them to encourage them along the way. Feeding may be actually giving them something that they really need. Feeding could be that you're, tutoring them or mentoring them. Feeding them could be you actually giving them food. So as you move forward in life, I want to remind you that you need to do right and feed everyone. Because that which a man soweth, he shall also reap if he faints not. That's another proverb. And so today, if we think about studying, S, observing, O, working, W. If we think about learning, the L. If we think about adding value, the A. If we think about networking and doing right, we will sow the land. So as you move forward every day, think about what our farmers and ranchers are doing across this country. Is sowing the land, trying to make good use of what's been provided to us, what's laying ahead of us to get a harvest. So, as you leave here today, go forth, sow good seeds, sow the land to expect a good harvest. Thank you and congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Neal, for those inspiring words. Parents and family, this is the moment that you have been waiting for, the symbolic presentation of the diploma. We want the graduates, parents, relatives, and friends to enjoy the ceremony with the academic demeanor fitting this occasion. To make the moment special for all of our graduates and their families, we ask that you do not leave the arena until all graduates have crossed the stage and received their cover. Graduates, please note you will receive your actual diploma in a few weeks by mail after certification that you have completed all degree requirements. Dr. Wardlow, Dr. Clark, please present the graduates. Chancellor Steinmetz, Board of Trustee members, Dr. Cochran, Dr. Rainey, please join me in recognizing our graduates.
Dean Fields, on behalf of the faculty of the Dale Bumpers College of Agricultural, Food, and Life Sciences, it is our pleasure to present the class of 2019.
This year, we have 3 graduates, Janae Tong Deal, Tanner Thompson Shuck, and Holly Joanne Peterson, who are being awarded their degrees posthumously. Janae Tong Dill was a human nutrition and hospitality innovation major with a concentration in dietetics. Please recognize Janae's parents, Joe and Kim Dill, and grandfather, J.W. Dill. On behalf of the University of Arkansas, please accept the Bachelor of Science in Human Environmental Sciences diploma for Janae. Tanner Thompson Shuck was a student in the Department of Crop, Soil, and Environmental Sciences, majoring in Environmental, Soil, and Water Science. Please recognize Tanner's mother, Tammy Strickland. On behalf of the University of Arkansas, please accept the Bachelor of Science in Agricultural, Food, and Life Sciences diploma for Tanner, presented by Associate Professor Dr. Lisa Wood. Holly Joanne Peterson was a human nutrition and hospitality innovation major with a concentration in human nutrition. Holly's family could not join us today, and her diploma will be delivered to her family. The names of these 3 graduates will be inscribed on Senior Walk along with their classmates of 2019.
Representing the Bumpers College Honors Program is Dr. Charles Rosencrans, Jr. The Honors Program graduates are escorted by their honors mentors. Kelsey Lynn Johnson, first-rank senior scholar, graduating summa cum laude with honors distinction, is accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Charles Rosencrans. Kelsey is graduating with a major in animal science. Bailey Ann Carpenter, first-rank senior scholar, graduating summa cum laude with honors distinction, and is accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Dustin Clark. Bailey is graduating with a major in animal science. Chi-Ray Tree is a first-rank senior scholar, summa cum laude, with honors distinction. Emily Ann King, first-rank senior scholar with honors distinction, graduating summa cum laude with honors, is accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Jenny Popp. Emily is graduating with a major in food science and agricultural business. Murphy Brianne Aycock, first-rank senior scholar, graduating summa cum laude with honors distinction, is accompanied by her mentor, Ms. Stephanie Hubert. Murphy is graduating with a major in apparel merchandising and product development. Chu Chao Mai, first-rank senior scholar, graduating summa cum laude with honors distinction, is accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Luke Howard. Chu Chao is graduating with majors in human nutrition and hospitality, innovation, and food science. Aubrey Noel Dunteman, senior scholar, graduating summa cum laude with honors distinction, is accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Renee Threlfall. Aubrey is graduating with a major in food science. Ashley Ella Hanks, senior scholar, graduating with highest distinction. Ashley is graduating with a major in animal science. Adina Renee Sherry, senior scholar, graduating with highest distinction. Adina is graduating with a major in human development and family sciences. Laura Elizabeth Wasson, senior scholar, graduating summa cum laude with honors distinction, is accompanied by her mentor, Ms. Michelle Bailey. Laura is graduating with a major in human nutrition and hospitality innovation. Caroline Elise Atwell, graduating cum laude with honors distinction, is accompanied by her mentor, Ms. Michelle Bailey. Carolyn is graduating with a major in human nutrition and hospitality innovation. Darren Dahlem, graduating cum laude with honors distinction, is accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Yan Huang. Darren is graduating with a major in animal science. Callie Celine Fleming, graduating cum laude with honors distinction, is accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Lanier Nally. Callie is graduating with a major in agricultural business. Amy Danielle Frank, graduating cum laude with honors distinction. Her mentor is Dr. Ashley Dowling. Amy is graduating with a major in animal science. Erin Davis, graduating magna cum laude with honors distinction. Her mentor is Dr. Charles Rosencrans. Erin is graduating with a major in animal science. Catherine Claire Williams, first-rank senior scholar, graduating summa cum laude with honors distinction, is accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Inju Cho. Catherine is graduating with a major in apparel merchandising and product development. Carson Elizabeth Freeman, graduating magna cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Charles Rosencrans. She is graduating with a major in animal science. Meredith Hayden, graduating magna cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Charles Rosencrans. Meredith is graduating in animal science. Madeline Giebler, graduating summa cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Jill Rucker. Madeline is graduating with a major in agricultural education, communications, and technology. Holly Michaela Kinry, graduating magna cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by Dr. Jill Rucker. Holly is graduating with a major in poultry science. Mary Kathleen Klinke, graduating magna cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Kelly Way. Mary Kate is graduating with a major in human nutrition and hospitality innovation. Jacob Ogden Maris, graduating magna cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by his mentors, Dr. Lisa Wood and Dr. Mary Savin. Jacob is graduating with a major in environmental soil and water science. Natalie Diane Miller, graduating cum laude with honors distinction, is accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Sabrina Trudeau. Natalie is graduating with a major in human nutrition and hospitality innovation. Jordan Ann Paris, graduating cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Laura Harold. Jordan is graduating with a major in birth through kindergarten. Taylor Brooklyn Pruitt, graduating cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Nathan Kemper. Taylor is graduating with a major in agricultural business. Rachel Elise Reynolds, graduating magna cum laude with honors distinction, is accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Ken Coffey. Rachel is graduating with a major in animal science. Mercedes C. Redding, graduating summa cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Jae Kyung Kim. Mercedes is graduating with majors in animal science and hospitality, or human nutrition and hospitality innovation. Sora Emma Mura, graduating cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by his mentor, Dr. Charles Rosencrans. Sora is graduating with a major in crop science. Kylie Michelle Sigmund, graduating summa cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Jill Rucker. Kylie is graduating with majors in agricultural business and agricultural education, communications, and technology. Carly Ray Smith, graduating summa cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Jennifer Becknell. Carly is graduating with a major in human development and family sciences. Lindsay Marie Stone, graduating magna cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by her mentor, Ms. Stephanie Hubert. Lindsay is graduating with a major in apparel merchandising and product development. Samantha Rita Finley, graduating magna cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Luke Howard. Samantha is graduating with majors in human nutrition and hospitality innovation and food science. Molly Mae Grace Wilson, graduating magna cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by her mentor, Dr. Laura Harold. Molly is graduating with a major in human development and family sciences. Paul Dean Wolf, graduating cum laude with honors distinction, accompanied by his mentor, Dr. Eston Mason. Paul is graduating with majors in crop science and animal science. Now joining us on stage is Dr. Kelly Bryant. This concludes the honors program and distinguished graduates. Dr. Kelly Bryant will be escorting students from the Department of Agricultural Economics and Agribusiness Now we are presenting the students majoring in agricultural business. Kayla Rayanne Ball. Ben Bear. Delia K. Barrett. Jackson Berg. Dallas Blagg. Guy Denton Botsford. Brianna Nicole Bradley. Robert Stephen Branscombe. Board of Trustee Vice Chairman Mr. Mark Waldrop will present the diploma to Robert. Anthony Taylor Briley. Haley Burton. Christian Bryce Carter. G. Alexander Paul Koval. Matthias de Olivia Maya Coyer. Jonathan DeBerry. Christian D. Dixon. Logan Charles Dingler. Sterling Bristow Doak. Brenton W. Dorn.
Claire Ebbing. Connor Blaine Freeman. Tatum Joy Glendenning with distinction. Tanner Goodwin. Hayden James Hamilton with distinction. Keithan Harrell. Brett Austin Hensley. Kendall Coker Hill. Seth Holland. Barrett Andrew Holloman. Hunter Will Holthauser. Justin James House. Hayden Hum. Anthony Walton Johnson. Jonathan Wade Kent. Caleb Dean Kirk. Madison Page Lindsay. Garrett Peyton Lipford. Joseph Darrell Long. Caleb Lucas. Evan Eaton McGuire. Logan Gray Mann. Caleb Thomas Marconi. Joseph M. Macaulay. Mary Mills Menz. Casey Bryant Morris with high distinction. Jacob S. Norsworthy and Dr. Jason Norsworthy will present the diploma to his son, Jacob. Thomas Nickel Rose, Jr. Bradley Fletcher, C. Caleb Owen Goodman Smith. Clay Winstead Smith. Sydney Smith with high distinction. Carson Marshall Stewart. Carter Allen Ward. Kenley Michelle Williams. Caitlin Ann Woods with distinction. Anderson Wesley Wright. Peyton Lee Wally. Jared Carter Zeiser. Now joining us on stage is Dr. George Wardlow, escorting students from the Department of Agricultural Education, Communications, and Technology. Now presenting the students majoring in Agricultural Education, Communication, and Technology. Elizabeth Page Avery, and this is Elizabeth's birthday today. Keldon Bartlett. Zane Seth Bluebaugh. Courtney Lynn Bradley. Sarah Sky Cato with distinction. Wells William Clark. Andrew M. Graves. Lauren Nicole Griffin. Caitlin Martin. Santos Montano. Brandon Lee Moore with distinction. Caitlin Reynolds. Dr. Alan Mantooth will present the diploma to his niece, Caitlin. Abby Nicole Sandifer with high distinction. Ashton Coral Smith. Evan Zachary Strobel. Dietrich von Thurston. Christian Valdez. Jordan N. Volkman. Reese Ware. Now joining us on stage is Dr. Michael Looper, escorting students from the Department of Animal Science. Now presenting the students majoring in animal science. Shelby Addison Bartrug. Kimberly Elizabeth Beard. Brianna Ellen Bolstead with highest distinction. California Ray Burmester. Theodore Lee Chambers. Kayla Ann Christie. Danielle Davis. Marley K. Dietz. Trevor Dillon. Matthew Hahn. Sydney Marie Harder with distinction. Shannon Nicole Leonard. Jessica K. Lester with distinction. Erica McKenzie Matthews. Sophia Lauren Malden. Laura Allen Meadows. Elizabeth Ann Moncrief. Carolyn Faith Papashol with distinction. Amy Sue Reed. Jeffrey M. Roby with high distinction. Kristen Elise Roberts. Rachel Lee Schofhauser with distinction. Paul Shanks. Tatum Showalter. Ashley Smith with distinction. Danielle L. Smith. Danielle is also graduating with a second major in poultry science. Zoe Smith. Rachel Irene Stoll. Catherine Elizabeth Thoden. Kelsey Trackler. Kelsey M. Vaughn. Diana L. Watson with high distinction. Stephanie Danielle West. Colleen Marie Williams with distinction. Tiffany Renee Wood. Lauren Campbell Zell with high distinction.
Now joining us on stage is Dr. Robert Bacon, escorting students from the Department of Crop, Soil, and Environmental Sciences. Now presenting the students majoring in crop science. Jossie Santa Maria Archbold. Caitlin Taylor Turner. Cordell Gavin Burkett. These are students in crop, soil, and environmental sciences, students majoring in environmental, soil, water science. Lourdes Inez Gonzalez de la Cruz. Caleb Anthony Gorley. Ryan T. Grew with high distinction. Robert Park Hunter. Ian Kennedy with distinction. Christine Suzanne Knowlton with distinction. Valerie Ann Love with distinction. Caitlin Brianne McDaniel. Jennifer McGriff. Jordan Sladen. Patience Elizabeth Vaught. Now joining us on stage is Dr. Wayne McKay, escorting students from the departments of Food Science and Horticulture. Now presenting students majoring in Food Science. Tyler Allen Butterfield. Wade Thomas Carter with highest distinction. Sergio Antonio Herrera. Michaela Hoyt with high distinction. Matea Danielle Jones. Emily Deanne McCullough. Graham Edward Mittling. Andrea Lee Myers. Jean-Pierre Numba. Hannah Colette Rennell. Selena Resendez with distinction. Sally Michelle Swear. Annie Tran. Reed Henry Williams. Next, presenting horticulture students majoring hort, landscape, and turf sciences. Samuel Paul Emerson. Grayson Lane Fott. Caleb Allen Fisher. Imola Caroline Fritchie. Kaylin Mackenzie Helms with distinction. Brittany Lowry. Carl P. Newbill. Janice L. Partain. Rhett Patton. Evan Rolfing. Heather Snyder. Now joining us on stage is Dr. Michael Kidd, escorting students from the Department of Poultry Science. Now presenting the students majoring in Poultry Science. Emily Grace Adams. Troy Alexander Beggy. Hannah Nicole Bergen. Amelia Grace Chapman with distinction. Elizabeth Megan Cheek. Brock Daniels is graduating with highest distinction. Is also graduating of the second major in agricultural business. Dr. Mike Daniels will present his diploma to his son Brock. Shayna Denton with high distinction. Hayden Thomas Edwards. Aaron Brooke Helmick. Haley Hill. Heather Kramer. Philip James Markovich. Austin Nicholas Miller. Michaela Rose Mulder. William Michael Morris. Jose Armando Nunez Vega. Jose is graduating with a second major in crop science. Tyler Christopher Sandong. Erica Violet Teal with high distinction.
Now joining us on stage is Dr. Betsy Garrison, escorting students from the School of Human Environmental Sciences. Now presenting the students majoring in apparel merchandising and product development. Paige Atwell with distinction. Grace Ellen Bader. Tiffany Bechtel. Sarah Jane Belando. Sydney Catherine Bingham. Rachel Birmingham. Rodrigo Eduardo Calderon Rivera with distinction. Claire Connell. Caroline Jane Dalby with distinction. Samantha N. Dale with distinction. Jessie Joan Daspet. Lillian Jane Dewell. Alexandra Duran. Addison Edwards. Miranda Dawn Fannin. Lauren Ashley Garrett with distinction. Michaela Gilbreth with distinction. Abby Grenier. Jessica Marina Guzman with distinction. Tara Elizabeth Harris with distinction. Haley Brooke Harrison. Haley and Camille Harrod. Lauren Angelia Horton. Wallace Achito Jenkins with high distinction. Abigail Jordan Ramsey. Kaylin Alexis Kidd. Sydney Ann King. Caitlin Samantha Kirby. Emily Ann Lebos with high distinction. I'm sorry, Emily Ann Leibowitz with high distinction. Madison Darlene Lowe. Tessa Rianne Mace. Hannah Magnus. Katie Elizabeth Madison. Morgan McVeigh. Megan Miller. Hayden Orms. Mary Catherine Poteet. Connor Everett Postal. Ashley Lee Quickle with highest distinction. Elizabeth Renea Shaver with highest distinction. Caitlin Elora Smith with distinction. Brogan Jaylee Stafford. Pamela Villegas Quintero. Laurie Wells. Alexis Ann White. Morgan Elizabeth White. Sarah Elizabeth Williams. Next, presenting Human and Environmental Sciences students majoring in birth through kindergarten. Caitlin Rose Barrows. Bailey Ann Hamilton. Courtney Autumn Jones. Courtner Gardner Skateris with high distinction. Amber Michelle Wagang with highest distinction.
Next, presenting Human and Environmental Sciences students majoring in food, nutrition, and health. Colin Michael Anderson. Taylor Beauvais. Matthew A. Campbell with distinction. Sarah Elizabeth Eaton. Jonathan Vincent Hill. Rachel Joseph. Darian Renee Lawler. Next, presenting Human Environmental Sciences students majoring in hospitality management. Elena Ames. Alexander Price Aiken. Tram Dang with high distinction. Meredith Ann Fransky. Alyssa Fritzky. Sarah Geeson. Alexander Andres Gomez. Meredith Claire Hain. Emily J. Hammond. Drew James. Megan Jennings. Jillian Lineweaver. Danielle Elizabeth Light with high distinction. Kathleen Margaret Little. Sydney Marie Marsh. Amelia Morris. Alina Leigh Nolan. Kristen Carrington Pond. Riley S. Rainwater III with high distinction. Riley's diploma will be presented by his uncle, U of A Board of Trustees member Steve Cox. Madison Sanborn. Allison Lee Speed. Mary Beth Teague with distinction. Nicole Marie Tuber. Kylie Jewel Vinn. Emily Ann Yost. Elizabeth K. Young with distinction. Now presenting Human Environmental Sciences students majoring in Human Development and Family Sciences. Matthew Scott Berry. Sarah Elizabeth Brown. Madison Erica Brubaker. Katie Cardone. Paloma Esme Garcia Dickey. Rebecca Sue Hambreese. Brittany Lane Harden. Brittany Noel Hull. Jensen Hunt. Peyton Grace Scholar. Taylor LaGrange. Alex Lunson. Joanna Martinez. Jared Brandon McCormick. Morgan Elizabeth McKay with distinction. Tyrell Nickens. Landon Post. Taylor Elizabeth Shellman. Micah Elizabeth Stipp with distinction. Laura Kane Tipton with high distinction. Abigail Ann Williams with high distinction. Grayson Ellen Yingling.
Next, presenting Human Environmental Sciences students majoring in General Human Environmental Sciences. Erin M. Cisco. Next, presenting Human Environmental Sciences students majoring in Human Nutrition and Dietetics. Aubrey Elise Baker. Cameron Nicole Bell. Jordan Elizabeth Bush with distinction. Shayla Ruth Cooper with high distinction. Caitlin Ray Cawthorn. Brittany Paige Eldubatel with distinction. Francisca Garduno. Alisa Uglisuga Hannah with distinction. Amanda Renee Hayden with distinction. Taylor Grace Hensley. Mackenzie Grace Hicks with distinction. Addison Rebecca Huffmeister with distinction. Javon Alderson Lane. Mallory Ann Longwell with distinction. Ashley Nicole Lott. Ellery Page Martin. Diane Masarigos Arabello. Alexandra Crosby McMurtry with distinction. Mary Langley Montague with distinction. Cameron Moti with high distinction. April Leanne Ashley Pender. Carolyn Grace Prudhomme. Shelby Lynn Schlee with distinction. Sydney Lauren Tallett with highest distinction. Anne-Marie Renee Villagomez. And the one we've all been waiting for, Laura Catherine Williams.
Thank you, Dr. Robertson, Dr. Thompson, Dr. Rosencrantz, Dr. Clark, and Dr. Wordlaw for your assistance. I would like to take a moment to thank some of the people who helped make today special, who made this a great year for the Bumpers College. I'd like to ask that the faculty of Bumpers College stand and be recognized. So I know we also have some staff here, so any staff of the Bumpers College, please wave your hands wherever you are. We pride ourselves on having a family atmosphere, and we believe that it takes a village to raise your children, so just thank you all for what you do. Thank you for your time, your talent, your dedication, and caring. Thank you for providing our students with many opportunities and experiences that will enable their success in pursuing their professional aspirations. I would like to also thank our graduating student ambassadors for their outstanding service to the Bumpers College. Our student ambassadors have been a wonderful asset as great representatives of the student body, a sounding board, and a reality check for all of us. It is through their input and willingness to serve that we will be able to continually enhance the quality education and experiences we provide for future Bumpers College students. Will our graduating ambassadors please stand as I call your name? Samantha Finley. Taylor Hensley. Casey Morris. Will Morris. And Sydney Smith. Thank you all sincerely. I would like to recognize the Arkansas Winds and members of Schola Cantorum. We've been privileged to have these talented groups provide delightful music and singing for our ceremony. And a special thanks to Alicia Atkins and Jason Shiflett, our interpreters today. Please join me in thanking these groups. Now I'm pleased to present Ms. Mandy Korsmeyer as the 2019 recipient of the Bumpers College Alumni Society Young Alumnus Award. Ms. Korsmeyer earned a bachelor's degree from Bumpers College in Apparel Studies in 2008. Currently, she is Vice President of Business Development for National Accounts for U.S. manufacturer Orion Rugs. Ms. Korsmeyer, please come forward to welcome our graduates to the Arkansas alumni family.
Thank you, Dean Fields, for giving me the honor of saying, welcome to the alumni family, class of 2019. On behalf of the Arkansas Alumni Association, I congratulate you on joining the ranks of more than 156,000 living U of A alumni around the world. As your time as students ends, your time as alumni is just beginning. You will always be a part of the family at the University of Arkansas. Stay connected with the University of Arkansas wherever you are by joining the Arkansas Alumni Association. You receive a discounted membership for the first 5 years after graduation and the exclusive "My Name is on this Senior Walk" t-shirt. Joining the Alumni Association will help you make the most of your alumni status through more than 200 alumni events that are here on campus and around the globe, chapters to connect with alumni in your local area, and societies to network with groups that specifically pertain to you, like the Dale Bumpers College of Agriculture, Food, and Life Sciences Alumni Society. So stop by the Alumni Association table outside the ceremony to learn more about the association and your membership discount. Learn more about how the membership will help you get involved and stay connected with your home on the hill. Finally, your name will soon be engraved on this campus. Cherish your name on that senior walk and know that you are part of a very unique tradition. Congratulations, alumni.
Thank you, Ms. Korsmeyer. So, Mr. Neal, Ms. Korsmeyer, we are proud to have you as graduates and representatives of the Bumpers College and the University of Arkansas. So we're going to take a little time as the photographer catches up to wait for students to get in. Chancellor Steinmetz, would you please come to the podium?
As we wait for the end of your fellow students, looks like they're all here. They said back there they wanted me to tell a joke, and did I know any to kill time here? And I said none that were appropriate for today's. I could tell a few. One of the great pleasures I have as Chancellor of the University is to confer officially the degrees on everybody. So graduates, will you please stand? As candidates for the degrees of Bachelor of Science in Agricultural, Food and Life Sciences, and Bachelors of Science in Human Environmental Sciences, upon successful completion of all degree requirements and upon the recommendation of the faculty, and by virtue of the authority vested in me by the Board of Trustees, I hereby confer upon you the degree indicated on your diploma with all the rights, privileges, and responsibilities pertaining thereto. Graduates, you may now move your tassel to the left, symbolizing your status as U of A alumni. Congratulations.
So graduates, you didn't do this on your own. So now would all parents, family members, and friends stand to be recognized. Maybe all be seated. Our ceremony will conclude as Mr. Neal and Ms. Kordsmeyer lead us in Calling the Hogs, followed by playing the alma mater by Arkansas Winds. Please remain standing until the stage party exits.